Development of Northeastern Region, donor, Government of India, followed by Mr. Rama Kamaraju, is the Senior Consultant, Aspirational Districts Program, Niti Aayog. We welcome you, sir. And this is going to be followed by Mr. Arun Kumar Verma, Second in Command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. Then we will have Mr. Somen Datta, State in Charge, Tripura Indian Association of Tour Operators, IATO, followed by Mr. Kanti Dev, President, All Tripura Hotel and Restaurant Owners Association, that is ATHROA. And as I have already shared it with you, the concluding remarks and the vote of thanks will be given by Mr. Rajan Sehgal, Co-Chairman, Tourism and Hospitality Committee, PHDCCI. Ladies and gentlemen, now it is sharp 3. So Lagna, we'll just going ahead with this. Great. Let me check whether my chairman, Mr. Pawan Sagar Jain, has joined or not. Just one sec. Mr. Jain, are you there? Well, Mr. Jain is not there. Okay, anyway, so he'll be joining. He'll be joining soon. So Tripura, the third smallest state in the country, is situated in the northeastern of India, and it is bordered by Bangladesh to the north, south, and west, and the Indian states of Assam and Mizoram to the east. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been deliberating of more than 15 months about the different border districts of different states, and today we are going to talk about Dhalai. Is an administrative district in the state of Tripura, and Dhalai district is named after the river Dhalai flows across the district from south to north, and it was created keeping in view the administrative exigency of providing development and good governance to the largely tribal and inaccessible areas.
I'm not able to see myself.
And ladies and gentlemen, Tripura, as I have told you, is one of the most literate states in India with a literacy rate. I have been told by my colleague Kurtika that it is 87.75%. And the mainstream Indian cultural element coexists with traditional practices of the ethnic groups. So we are very happy that we are talking about Tripura today, and especially this border district. I will not take much of time. Straight, I will go to Mr. Saurabh Sanyal, Secretary General of PHDCCI, as I have shared that he has been working with Indian Army and posted in Tripura, I believe, in the past. So he is going to share his remarks. And Mr. Sanyal, we will also share it with you. If you can kindly share your experience while visiting or posted in Tripura. Over to you, Mr. Sanyal.
Thank you, Dr. Yogesh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege for me to welcome.
I muted the mic, but where I don't see myself.
There's somebody who is.
Yeah. Can I request everybody to kindly be put yourself on mute, or I would request admin to kindly put everybody on mute except the speaker. Please go ahead, SG.
Thank you once again. It's a privilege to welcome you all to the 14th edition of the Border Tourism Webinar Series with Focus State of Tripura. I'm really honored to extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed speakers, Mr. L. Haukip, Director, Ministry of Donor, Government of India, Mr. Rama Kamaraju, the Senior Consultant, Niti Aayog, Mr. S.S. Dev Burman, Regional Director, India Tourism Northeast, Mr. Arun Kumar Verma, the Second in Command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force, Mr. Somen Datta, the State in Charge, Tripura IATO, Mr. Kanti Dev, the President, All Tripura Hotel and Restaurant Owners Association, our Chair of the Committee, Pawan S. Jain, Tourism and Hospitality Committee, PHDCCI, who's about to join, and our co-chair of the committee, Sri Rajan Sehgal ji, Tourism and Hospitality Committee, PHDCCI, and my colleague, Dr. Yogesh Srivastav, the Assistant Secretary General, PHDCCI, and his team, Ms. Sulagna Ghosh and Mr. Sanchit Prabhakar. It's a pleasure to have such a strong panel who are all the experts in their areas, and we look forward to hear their expert views and learn from their experiences. I'll begin with a very short and brief introduction of the chamber. The PHDCCI has been established in 1905 by Mr. James Curry, who was the then president of the chamber at Lahore. And thereafter, as the chamber grew in strength to strength and members to members, it started with 5 members. And today we have 150,000 direct and indirect members pan-India. We are also present in 16 states of the country physically and through our MOU partners in the southern states, where primarily we work with them. We also have 150 overseas MOUs through which we work with the various different countries in the globe. As a partner in progress with industry and government, PhD CCI works at the grassroots level. We are acting as the voice of industry and trade with a large membership base, as I already brought out. We have the large, small, medium, and micro enterprises. Basically, the chamber works as a policy advocacy body, policy intervention body, capacity building for our members, as also in socio-economic development. We also have two foundations, the PhD Rural Development Foundation and the PhD Family Welfare Foundation. So coming over to the concept of the border tourism, which refers to the notion of visiting border areas in order to experience diverse cultures, acquiring knowledge of trade, also about even meeting local communities who are living in the border region. These are several world-famous tourist attractions on borders of different nations that are visited by millions of tourists every year. Now, word about the problem of border districts and tourism development, which is recognized as a very important challenge for local communities along the border. Although institutional environment and security barriers remain the stumbling block for entrepreneurial cooperation, conditions for border tourism enhancement can be enabled through setting up frameworks for easier cooperation of public, private, and civil sectors. Now, as you go and physically see these borders, every border state in the northeastern region has some specialty. As my colleague, Dr. Yogesh brought out, Agartala has been the hub of activity through land customs. With Bangladesh, we have been trading into millions of trade which takes place across the land borders, and because of which Agartala, though being a very, very small state of the country, has been flourishing like anything. Similarly, many export goods and services are sent through the Agartala state to Bangladesh. Basically, salt, large varieties of juices, fruit juices, a large variety of other commodity like wheat, rice, etc. are sent in huge volumes, and our businesses are doing well. Also, textiles. We get textiles from Bangladesh in a very big way, which is very cheap, cheaply available, and it is a very, very good sector where a lot of trade and businesses take place in Agartala. Now, direct interventions from the Niti Aayog and Ministry of Tourism can influence the perception of tourists and contribute to the realization of the full potential of that area. The northeastern region is the most green region in the entire country. It has got all the wherewithal of tourism, be it lakes, be it flowers, horticulture, be it the fruit belt. I mean, every state has got its own unique USP of fruits, vegetables, spices, and flora and fauna. So this has got full potential for becoming the tourist destination, the international tourist destination. Japanese, Koreans, and people from the north, from the oriental countries are very much keen to visit, and they have been visiting the northeastern region. A place in Nagaland, we are talking about Tripura, but also a place in Nagaland where the World War II memorial has been there. The Japanese have been coming year on year with their kith and kin and traveling. So this entire belt is a tourist hub, and it can be developed into a beautiful international tourism hub for our country. I'm hopeful that in today's webinar, we will be able to come up with a strategic framework to develop the border tourism in Tripura. Tripura has produced excellent people, including our late Sachin Dev Burman and late R.D. Burman, who were the music directors and music connoisseurs of the country, who are of international acclaim. There have been writers, story writers, film producers, film directors. All these people are found in Tripura, and it's a beautiful city with very good people, and the language that they speak is very similar to Bangladesh and to our city of West Bengal. So, I mean, it is a different dialect, but they speak in the same kind of language, which can be very easily understood. So with this note, I would like to once again extend my warm greetings to those participating in today's webinar, and all brilliant speakers and experts are there on the panel, and I wish it a great success. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Sanyal. Thank you very much. And since post your welcome remarks, I'm sure people have now those, most of the youngsters, those who have joined with us will have come to know that how Tripura is basically tourist friendly. And as you have rightly said, it is basically the cultural reservoir among all the northern eastern states of India, and heritage and historical sites, temples are around there in this state.
Dr. Yogesh, I will just butt in for 1 minute.
Yeah,
I just
please,
wanted to highlight a thing which I am sure many of us are not aware.
Yeah.
Since I have served in the northeastern region for more than a decade. So I wish to say that there are 8 states which we all know in the northeastern region, including Tripura, and there are nearly 220 languages spoken in the northeastern region. Okay. It's a mix of Tibetan, Southeast Asian and East Indian cultures like Bengali and Assamese. The Northeast is the only part of India that the Mughal Empire could not conquer. This is a point to be noted. And the Ahom dynasty, which ruled the northeastern region for 600 years, is the longest unbroken dynasty in the Indian history. Also, the world's largest river island, the Majuli, and the world's smallest river island, Unmananda, both are in the northeastern region. This is another very important information. Shillong is considered as the rock capital of India, and Mawsynram in Meghalaya holds the Guinness World Record for being the wettest place on earth. Sialkuchi in Assam is one of the world's largest weaving villages, where the entire population is engaged in weaving silk fabrics. And Muga, the golden silk of Assam, is not produced anywhere else in the world but in the northeastern region of Assam. It is the cleanest region in India. The entire northeastern region is the cleanest region in India, and 70% of the country's orchids are found in the northeastern region. So Mizoram and Tripura are among the states with the highest literacy, which you already brought out. So this information should be spread across the country, across the world. And another very important is that there is no dowry culture in the entire northeastern region. So these are the specialties of this state. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General, for your wonderful information. And I can see the vibration and the happiness on your face whenever we basically talk about Northeastern. And since you have served in that part of the country, you are always very excited and inspired because the amount of time which you have served over there and the experience which you have taken, that really shows your inspiration. And at the same time, I'm sure the youngsters, those who have joined with us, will certainly go to Tripura, including me. I still find myself young. I would certainly go to Tripura, and then especially in this district, which we are going to talk about, that is the Dhalai district. I have already given a commitment to my colleague Sulagna as well as Sanchit. Then let us go, post this pandemic and see these beautiful places, and maybe we would do a conclave or tourism conclave over there with some few ambassadors. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll not take much of time because I believe my chairman is stuck somewhere, Mr. Jain. Let me request Mr. Rajan Sehgal, who is our co-chair, though he is going to speak in the concluding and vote of thanks. But let me request him, Rajanji, if you can kindly share about this entire webinar series, especially border tourism, how this has started, how you have basically convinced the Ministry of Tourism to come out with this unique idea. And as you have said rightly on the other day, during the call-on meeting with the Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, that PhD Chamber is the only chamber business association who is actually working on this border tourism series. So can you just share briefly the theme of this border tourism series, and then we will go ahead with this. Okay, Mr. Sehgal, all yours.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all the respected panelists, and I'm grateful that our Secretary General has given a great depth knowledge about the northeastern state, not only on Tripura, but he shared the experience. You know, that is my best thing in my life, which I learned in my 4 years in the trade business, that every learn something new. And if you keep on learning, you always stay young, as Mr. Yogesh Srivastava. So thank you, Mr. Yogesh Srivastava, for giving me this platform. You know, this border tourism during this pandemic, when people were in fear that will be the future of travel and tourism through this pandemic. So
Mr. Sehgal, if you can kindly unmute yourself. You are muted. Sir, please unmute yourself. Mr. Sehgal, if you can kindly unmute. Yeah.
Forum border tourism, because after this people are going to explore unexplored places. So border tourism we made us support tourism India with to Ministry of Tourism, and they with Niti Aayog, they like this idea very much, and they have asked us to do a webinar on 18 different states which have border tourism. So as Mr. Kaji said, that we already covered 13 states, and it's very well appreciated the Ministry of Tourism and in the travel industry that they are promoting border. That is the quality and the specialty tourism committee of PhD. Whatever we do, we make beauty. We do our signature events of heritage tourism, golf tourism, and the continuity. We are doing from last year. So similarly, we are doing with tourism on
Some issue with Mr. Rajan Sehgal about this, I think a connection issue. Yeah, Mr. Sehgal, we got your point, and I think you can add. No problem.
So I welcome all again, and we want to hear from the panelists about Tripura.
Yes.
So over to you, Mr. Yogesh Srivastava.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sehgal. Thank you very much for just filling the gaps since Mr. Pawan Sagar Jain has just joined. As ladies and gentlemen, let me just again share it with you. Today we have a very important panel with us. Post Mr. Jain's speech, then we will have Mr. S.S. Dev Burman. We welcome him, Regional Director, India Tourism Northeast, followed by Mr. L. Haikuk, Director, Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, Donor, Government of India. We will have address by Mr. Rama Kamaraju, Senior Consultant, Aspirational Districts Program, Niti Aayog, followed by Mr. Arun Kumar Verma, Second in Command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. We welcome you, sir. Then we will have Mr. Somen Datta, State in Charge, Tripura Indian Association of Tour Operators, followed by Mr. Kanti Dev, President, All Tripura Hotel and Restaurant Owners Association, and the concluding remarks will be given by Mr. Rajan Sehgal. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me request Mr. Pawan Sagar Jain, Chairman of Tourism and Hospitality Committee, to kindly give his remarks. Mr. Jain, if you can kindly unmute yourself and speak. Mr. Jain, are you there? Okay, some connection issue there. So Lagna, I believe there is a internet issue with Mr. Jain. No problem. We will straight away go, with a small presentation on Tripura.
Sir, he is
Sulagna,
here
can I
now.
request you to just show the presentation?
The chair is here now. We can ask him to speak.
Mr. Jain, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please go ahead. Please give your remarks, sir.
Okay, sir. With the support of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and the respective state
These are the set of things, sir. Whenever we have such, virtual discussions, such problems and hiccups, I should say, teething issues are always there. But yes, we have to live with
the
this.
government officials as well as the industry members. Tripura is a hilly state in the northeast of India, bordered by the three sides with Bangladesh, and home to a diverse mix of tribal cultures and regional groups. Within its small geographical area, Tripura offers plenty of attractions for the tourists in the form of
Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you very much, Mr. Jain. I believe there is an issue, so we will come back to you later. Sulagna, can we just see this small presentation?
Right, sir.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you will have to bear with us. These are the teething problems always come while having the virtual discussions. Over to you, Sulagna.
Is the screen visible?
Much visible. Please go ahead and speak a bit louder, please. And please
Is
go
it
to
better
the
now?
yeah, better, but please go to the presentation format so that we have the entire PPT slide on the screen. Please go
I
ahead.
guess there is some issue. I'm not
Okay,
able
please
to...
go ahead like this. No problem.
Sanchit, can you play the PPT?
Okay. Again, technical issue. No problem. Let me. Yeah, please go ahead. I can see the screen. Sanchit.
Yes, so as you can see that we have prepared this slide for Tripura as it's a border state. Next slide.
Next up.
Sanchit, next slide. Sir, I guess we'll go ahead with the speakers first because there is some technical issue, not able to change the slides in PPT.
I think some technical issue. No problem, sir. We will just straight go ahead. Let me request Mr. S.S. Dev Burman, Regional Director, India Tourism Northeast. Sir, if you can kindly come and share your remarks, sir. In the meantime, we'll try and fix up the issue. Please go ahead, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Very much audible, sir. Please go ahead.
First of all, I'm just congratulating to PhD Chamber from the core of my heart, and Yogesh Srivastava ji nicely introduced all the panelists, including me. But Yogesh Srivastava ji might have forgotten that although I'm a regional director for entire Northeast, that too I got this chance after so many years. After सात घाट का पानी पीने के बाद मैं अपना region में आए, and Srivastava ji might have forgotten that I'm myself from Tripura. I am son of the soil.
Fantastic.
The state. And Sanyal ji nicely jotted down everything about Tripura. So I don't think that much elaboration is needed. He mentioned two very important historical aspect of Tripura. One is that including Tripura, including other part of Northeast. Northeast of Tripura were never subjugated by Mughal. That is true. And Tripura has, despite these things also, Tripura has its own unique history. Tripura was never subjugated or dominated by the Mughal empires. At the same time, during the time of British also, Tripura was an independent state. It was, of course, it was a princely state, but it was one of the few independent states in the entire subcontinent. So we bear this legacy. Another thing is that I am from the same family as D. Burman, R.D. Burman. So Tripura also can be touted as a land of music and a land of cultural synthesis. Sometimes I might get sometimes I might also what to say? I mean, become quite surprised to see the cultural synthesis in our state, despite it is the very small entity. You might be knowing that Tripura is the third smallest state in the country, but you see the legacy and the melting pot of the so many religions, so many cultural tribes over here. So Tripura has a tremendous traditions and history, and no need to tell much. What I would say that in spite of being mostly hilly territory, most of the population of Tripura lives in the plains, and it is one of the most ancient of India's princely state, as I told already. The small state is, however, big in sense of its tourism aspects. There are many tourist attractions in Tripura that varies from the monuments to historical sites, nature and wildlife and museums, and to the ancient temples. The state is bounded by Bangladesh, as you know that it is I mean, literally speaking, it is an ideal for the border tourism, as it is bounded by Bangladesh from north, south, and northwest. So Tripura is being called as a landlocked state in the country. Blazed with its beautiful lakes, rivers, and forests, Tripura is worth visiting. So all people are welcome, and I just would like to request PhD Chambers of Commerce to make the necessary steps so that the number of visitors comes to this beautiful states. As I told earlier, that state has a number of historical and cultural significant places. The historically famous Ujjanta Palace, Nirmahal, Kunjavan, Malanchonibas, and then pilgrimage sites like Pilar, etc. And then Tripura Government Museums. These are actually the bright spot and the pride of our state. Then we also are having the religious spots and temples in Tripura, include the Tripura Sundari Temple. It's very famous. Then we have Onukuti, then 14 Goddess Temple, Bhuvaneshwari Temple, Vishnu Temple, Nagardol, Hari Temple, Gopinath Temple, Mahamuni Pagoda, and Benuban Vihar, among others. And then we are also having a small hill station. It is being called Jompui Hills. And then our wildlife is quite wide and full of varieties. And we are having Sipahijola Wildlife Sanctuary, Roa Wildlife Sanctuary, Krishna Wildlife Sanctuary, and of late we have developed a number of eco parks. And these are the attractions of the state in terms of its nature and wildlife sanctuaries. So I mean, these are the tourism aspects on the or the tourist attractions in the small state. And now I mean, eager to listen from the other members or panelists from the PhD chambers how to actually proceed or how to actually make it a much more viable as far as tourism thing is concerned. From the government sectors, we are trying our level best in terms of so many things, we have been doing. ITM also held in 2018. So that was quite successful. So we are trying to bring more and more tourists in our beautiful states. But besides government organizations, the NGOs and private stakeholders in tourism also has a great responsibility to promote this beautiful state as well as other part of the Northeast India. And I don't want to drag it much more. I'm just trying to conclude it over here. But before I conclude, I just want to tell all the eminent panelists and persons in the group that I don't know what is the reason behind it. Whatever programs we have been doing since long, those programs are not being much attention in the national media or national level. How to sort out this kind of problem, that also need to be thoroughly discussed and properly sorted out. So I would like to request to PhD chambers of commerce to look into this particular aspect also seriously. So they have been doing, PhD Chamber of Commerce is doing a series of programs in Northeast. There is a quite laudable and admirable. But what I want to say is that through my own experience, through our own governmental experience, and through our other activities also, we have come to know that it is not whether I have come to know on that. The harsh reality is that Northeast hardly get any attention in the national level. These things will have to be properly looked into. So once again, now eager to listen from all the eminent personalities in Kokborok language, which is our state language, along with Bengali and English. I am just telling Hambai. That means thank you to all. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Burman. Thank you very much, and very important points which you have shared with us. Let me just share it with you before I request the other panelists to speak. That PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry is a national body, and we have our chapter in the northeastern region, headquarter in Assam, and we have been doing pre-COVID physical programs, in Sikkim as well as in Nagaland and other places. But yes, of course, you have rightly said that post COVID-19, number of programs are happening through webinar, through virtual mode. And of course, it is our duty to ensure that such kind of programs are always being disseminated into the media, whether it is a print media or electronic. But at the same time, let me also share it with you, social media plays a very important role, and all our endeavors are being covered over there. And we are not only tweeting, but at the same time, we are using all the tools of the social media. But of course, Mr. Burman, as you have rightly pointed out, we will try and then engage the initiatives more and more into media, so that more and more people will come to know about the initiatives. And that is the initiative also of PhD CCI, that more and more tourists should come. As you have said, responsible, it is a responsibility. So responsible tourism, sustainable tourism really needs to be increased in the northeastern side of this country, which is a beautiful country. I have been to Sikkim number of times, but I'll, in my next endeavor, my first and foremost destination would be Tripura. So we will be in touch. Yeah.
Just inform me whenever you'll be coming to Tripura. Just don't forget to inform me.
Sir, we have to take your permission, and then we will be over there, because we close very, closely with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. So my colleagues Sulagna and Sanchit, they would be immediately initiating with you and ensure that we must have a conclave in the northeastern side of the country. And since you are the regional director, so we will have to seek your kind guidance.
Sure.
Information.
Sure.
We look forward to that, Mr. Burman. And it's great to note that you also come from the same family of R.D. Burman, and this is really a great honor for us to have you, and we will certainly be in touch with you in future too. So kindly be with us. We will have post this discussions. We will have some question and answer, so people might have some question for you, Mr. Burman. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have just been told by my colleague Sulagna that the Director, Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region, donor, Mr. Haikop, is stuck in some meeting, so he would not be able to be there. No problem. There is always a next time, Sulagna. So we will request him next time. Now we will request Mr. Rama Kamaraju, is the Senior Consultant, Aspirational Districts Program, Niti Aayog. May I request you, Mr. Kamaraju, to kindly give your thoughts and how this border tourism, especially the aspirational districts, are really going to take place, and then how this border tourism series, we will have to come out with a complete report with the help of Niti Aayog. This is what when we met the Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Arvind ji, he said that we have to come out with a complete report of this, and we are committed to come out with a report at the end of this when we talk about Banaskantha, Gujarat in over a period of time. So we will be in touch with you and see how best we can do it physically over there. Over to you, Mr. Kamaraju, for your comments, please.
Yeah, thank you. And I would at the very outset like to congratulate PhD for taking this enormous job of convening series of meetings and ultimately coming up with a report on recommendations as to how to improve tourism in the border districts and in general, and especially the aspirational districts in particular. So my remarks would be that yes, I have attended many of these series in the previous sessions as well, and wherein the fundamental framework here is that we are taking PhD chamber is taking the feedback from the experts from that region who has considerable experience, and trying to collect the suggestions how the tourism has to be improved. That is on the that is one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that most of them being the aspirational districts, the advantage of relatively when you like to enhance the tourism aspect, or when you would like to focus on tourism as a sector and try to develop it in a sustainable manner, the aspirational districts have definitely an edge over the non-aspirational districts, for the reason that for the last 3 years, the aspirational districts have been running under a particular framework or an ecosystem. This ecosystem and framework would definitely help the aspirational districts if they identify the tourism as one of the sectors and they would like to further develop it in a sustainable manner. So what is this ecosystem all about? See, the ecosystem is very simple, that we have put in place the development agenda, how to put the development agenda in the forefront and how to make the development agenda as a Jan Andolan and try to achieve certain targets within 3 years and within 5 years. So similarly, the same template can be replicated, provided the aspirational district template is working on the socio-economic indicators, and this particular tourism development would be working on the tourism aspect. Nonetheless, more or less the governance structures and the enthusiasm that is required with the district administration, and as well as the district administration motivation and other aspects are all already dealt with. So the aspects of convergence, the aspects of collaborations would definitely be available for the district to take up the tourism as a special subject and take it forward. So usually in all the previous seminars and conferences, I have noticed the participation of the district magistrate or somebody from the district administration, which I hope would be joining also today in the program. Therefore, the advantage would be that they would be coming to know various suggestions and others which are made by the panelists today. And it will also be an opportunity for all of us to also understand the challenges which they are facing, and we can also provide certain solutions to that. So with these remarks, I would like to once again congratulate PhD Chamber for coming out with this series of seminars, and also would like to request the panelists who have spent considerable amount of time in this sector and very well versed with the region, its issues and challenges, and also the opportunities where this particular sector can be developed. So I'm looking forward to just know and understand from them, and also extend full cooperation from NITI Aayog in terms of NITI Aayog to PhD Chamber, and as well as the district in making the tourism as a very sustainable sector and thereby enhancing the GDP of Tripura. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Kamaraju. Yeah, that is the basic punchline which he has given, enhancing the GDP of Tripura. And as we have learned by one of the reports of Ministry of Tourism, that if one tourist comes, then it creates minimum 2 jobs over there. So I think Mr. Kamaraju has rightly pointed out that as long as you have tourists over there, certainly people are not going to have work. The entire GDP of that particular state is going to increase, strengthened, and people are going to be connected meaningfully over there. Sir, let me share it with you, Mr. Kamaraju, that of course I will personally be coming over there at NITI Aayog and meeting you in person while framing this report, which we are going to present it to the Ministry of Tourism. So I'll seek some assistance ideas from you. But at the same time, sir, I really put it on record that support, guidance, especially from your office, especially from you, from NITI Aayog, while creating this webinar series. And I must say very proudly, we must say that the Secretary Minister of Tourism, when I met him last week at his office, that it is only PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. This is the only association, business association, who has taken this initiative, talking about the aspirational district and having this series of border tourism. So I must give a big round of applause to my colleague Sulagna Sanchit, and of course to Mr. Rajan Sehgal, those who have given this idea and talked to the ministry and then taken their consent, and all the regional directors of the Ministry of Tourism, of course to the district magistrates of these aspirational districts. Unfortunately, today we could not connect with the district magistrates. He was busy in some meeting, he could not connect. But ladies and gentlemen, let me share it with you. We are very proud to share that we have Mr. Arun Kumar Verma. He is the second in command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. He is going to share it with us, the border which we are sharing it with Bangladesh, what kind of challenges which we have over there, whether this aspirational district, how it is going to be strengthened, with infrastructure, etc. So he's going to talk on that. But before that, let me request my colleague Sulagna to kindly give a small presentation on Incredible India, and that is a need which really we need to show to all the youngsters, those who have joined, people, those who have joined with the PhD-CCI Facebook, people, those who have joined with PhD-CCI YouTube link. We also welcome them. Sulagna, if you can kindly share on Incredible India, and post that we will request Mr. Verma to give his remarks. Over to you, Sulagna.
Incredible India.
Thank you, Sulagna. Thank you very much. Yes, Incredible India. We are very proud that we are all inspired Indians. And my learning, not only in the school way back in 1979, 80s, but also in my college when I was doing my graduation, I learned one line which I'm sure Mr. Verma would certainly second this. Inspired people makes the inspired country. and inspired country really makes an inspired entire world, and that is called Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Over to you, Mr. Verma. Arun Kumar Verma, second in command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. He is going to share the challenges which Tripura is having with Bangladesh, and at the same time the opportunities that how this aspirational districts is going to be strengthened infrastructurally. Over to you, Mr. Verma.
Thank you, Dr. Yogesh. First of all, I'd like to convey my warm wishes to everyone, particularly esteemed panelists and distinguished members of webinar, as well as the whole team of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry for giving me this opportunity to join this webinar on Tripura, where I am presently posted as a member of a border security force. Initially, I will start with the preface of Tripura. As we all know that Indian state Tripura is located in the northeastern part of subcontinent. The name of Tripura state is linked to the Hindu goddess of beauty, Tripura Sundari, whose temple is one of the 51 Shakti Peeths and situated at Udaipur. Tripura is a landlocked, hilly northeastern state, shares border with Bangladesh, Mizoram, Assam, that is surrounded on the northwest and south by Bangladesh, to the east by Mizoram state, and to northeast with the Assam state. Tripura is a third smallest city in the country, which covers 10491.69 square kilometers. The length of its international border is 856 kilometers, that is 84% of its total border. Tripura state is having 8 districts: Dhalai, Spaijila, Khowai, Gomti, Unakoti, North Tripura, South Tripura, and West Tripura. It is pertinent to mention here that all the 8 districts of Tripura state share international boundary with Bangladesh. Tripura is known for its breathtaking scenic view and is popular for its tribal culture, and also noted for its bamboo handicraft, local hand-woven textile. Various tourist destinations and pilgrimages assist in Tripura, and few main tourist places and attractions are. Rather, I will elaborate the details of these tourist places in my concluding session of my address, if time permits. Otherwise, just I am naming the places of attraction.
Please go ahead, sir. All yours. We are very proud that you are connected with us. All yours, sir. We have a lot of time. Please go ahead.
Please, thank you. Unakoti, Ajanta Palace, Neer Mahal, Baramura Eco Park, Spaijila Wildlife Sanctuary, Jampai Hills, Mahamuni Buddha Mandir, Kamla Sagar Picnic Spot, Jagannath Temple, Tropic of Cancer. Here I would like to highlight that among the 8 Indian states, the Tropic of Cancer also passes through Udaipur district of Tripura. Now we have more tourist places like Rima Valley, Rova Wildlife Sanctuary, Trishna Wildlife Sanctuary, Amar Sagar Lake. Tripura's hilly topography has continued to weaken the transportation and communication within the state. Moreover, being surrounded by Bangladesh from 3 sides, Tripura is virtually isolated from India. However, all the 3 modes of transportation exist in the states. We have got Maharaja Bir Bikram Airport, which is located 12 kilometers northwest to the Agartala. It is linked with the several cities in India. The Northeast Frontier Railway of Indian National Railway Network serves several cities in Tripura. The major railway station in the line of Agartala, Dharmanagar, and Kumarghat. Trains runs from Agartala to Kolkata and Delhi. A new railway line is being laid westward from Agartala to Akhura in Bangladesh. This will reduce the distance between Agartala and Kolkata by over 1,000 kilometers through a rail access to the Chatgaon port. National Highway NH8 passes through the state, which link the capital city of Agartala in the west with the Aizawl, Mizoram in the northeast and Bangladesh in the southeast. Larger towns of Tripura are connected through a road network. I just propose few of actions for promoting the tourism in the bordering state of Tripura. It is reiterated that all the 8 states of Tripura shares international border with Bangladesh. So every step taken to upgrade the existing infrastructure in any district will lead to border tourism attraction. Am I audible?
Sir, very much audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Hence, some projects to promote the border tourism are proposed, which requires immediate attention. Airports. Activation of old non-functional airports at prominent tourist places like Kailashar Unakoti and Manik Bhandar Kamalpur. Pawan Hans air services can be started at the initial stage and subsequently it can be upgraded to the regular airports. The second proposal is the interstate and national level culture and handicraft fests to promote local tribal culture and heritage among the general public and to integrate the various tourism segments. Interstate, national culture and handicraft fests are required to be conducted at district levels of all the 8 districts of the state rotation wise. Border village games and sports. Infrastructure to promote the traditional village games and sports activities for building and promoting the local tourism in each district of Tripura requires special focus. The traditional games of Tripura are called Thwang Mung. Apart from the traditional games, football is also a most popular game in Tripura. The other traditional games are Dakwai, Sonotomong, Kaldong or Kadong, Longoi, Chokomong, Mophok, Somang, Ramtang, Liaro, Webrao, Fans, Sliao, Wasago, Yangla, Baharu, Tongla, Talaro, Khail Lairo, and cooking games. India-Bangladesh Culture Fest. The people living on the both sides of international border in the state of Tripura are having religious, linguistic, and ethnic similarities. So organizing cultural fest of both the countries in the bordering towns will promote tourism as well as increase the public-to-public contact. BSF BJP joint retreat ceremony. Development of infrastructure for beating retreat parade ceremony between BSF and BGB, Border Guard Bangladesh, at ICP Agartala on the pattern of ICP Atari Wagah Amritsar. And in addition, some new locations like ICP Manu Ghat in Panisagar area and ICP Belonia, ICP Shirmantapur can also be considered to promote the tourism in the state. By providing quality accommodation to the tourist with establishing star category hotels and resorts in the states are required to be done. By optimum use of social media and digital media for marketing the tourist destination in the state. By marketing, branding, promoting the local products, particularly places having religious and cultural significance through the information centers situated at airports, railway station, integrated checkpost, ICPs, and other key locations within the state as well as outside the states are required to be done. By advertising at the national and international tourism fairs. It is also proposed to introduce various lucrative tourist package and its national and state level publication through information technology and communication medium like mobile based applications. Now I will highlighting the potential of tourism in the border district of Dhalai, Tripura. Dhalai district of Tripura was created in 1995 by bifurcating North Tripura district and including part of Amarpur subdivision of South Tripura district. The district is named after Dhalai River, which originates in the districts. In the district, Delhi district was created keeping in view the administrative exigency of providing development and good governance to the largely tribal and inaccessible areas. It was the least populous district of the Tripura, although it has it is the largest district in the state. Delhi district shares the international boundary with Bangladesh on northern and southern axis. Ambassa is the district headquarters of Delhi district and located about 9090 kilometers from the state capital Agartala through the national highway NH44, and it takes about 3 hours by road to reach state capital. The airport is in Manik Bhandar, Kamalpur, which is non-functional. Delhi owns a heritage of natural beauty, and it is mostly covered with forest and hilly. That is, more than 70% of its area is hilly and covered with forest. The dense jungle add to its scenic beauty to the district. Major rivers originating from Delhi districts are Delhi, Khowai, Gomti, and Manu. In January 2015, broad gauge railway link was established at Ambassa in Delhi. There isn't any notable industry in Delhi. However, pineapple juice concentration plant set up by the Northeastern Region Agriculture Marketing Corporation Limited is situated in Delhi district. Local villagers of Delhi district are very skilled in the handicraft products. Delhi is also known to be the producer of incense sticks, agarbattis. The assets of the districts are its huge natural resources, fertile land, conducive climatic conditions, adequate and well spread rainfall, high literacy rate, and strategic location of the district being well connected by the national highway. If all these resources are utilized properly, rapid development can be achieved, but for the lack of requirement of infrastructure and inaccessibility of many tribal areas, this district is very backward. Socio-economical conditions of the Delhi districts are required to be revamped to bring it out from the backward district status. The main factor for the social economic backwardness of the district needs to be addressed on top priority. These are poor infrastructure, particularly poor connectivity by air as well as on land, and communication facilities, lack of stable economic activities, lack of tourism infrastructure and facilities, poor marketing facilities, poor health and sanitation facilities, poor integration facilities. There are a number of places for the tourists and pilgrims in and around the Delhi, and some of the main tourist places are tourist places and attractions are Dumar Lake. Dumar Lake is a charming water body located in the Gandachara subdivision, which is about 70 kilometers away from Ambassa and 120 kilometers from Agartala. It is a small island having migrating bird chanting and breathtaking aquatic life. It looks like taboo-shaped small damru of Lord Shiva, from which the name Dumar originated. The lake is the union of river Raima and Sharma, the massive and breathtaking water body of 41 square kilometers with an unending spell of lush green vegetation all around stands majestic for its exceeding charming beauty, having 48 islands in the midst of the lake. Migratory birds and water sport facilities are additional attractions. Various species of migratory birds are visible in the winter, and it is a rich reservoir of natural and cultured fishes. In one of the islands, Nirai Khel Kunja, known as a coconut island, has been developed. There is a hydel project near the lake from where the river Gomti originates, and this is called Trimukh, where famous first Shakranti Mela takes place on 14th January every year. It is pertinent to mention here that Dumar Lake has a potential of attracting international tourists if it is developed to that level by providing basic infrastructure facilities as well as good air and land connectivity. The second prominent tourist attraction is Longthrai Mandir. Longthrai is a Karbuk name of Lord Shiva. Shiva temple of Kanthalbari, BC, is situated near NH44, which is another place of religious significance, and a huge mela of devotees is organized during the Maha Shivratri festival. There is a myth which says that Shiva, on return from the Kailash, rested here for some time in the hills of Longthrai. Longthrai means deep valley. This temple is also one of the most admired and the most popular tourist spot in the Dhalai district. The temple lies about 102 kilometers away from Agartala. Kampoi is a local flower that blooms on the roadside leading to this temple. Not only is the temple a spiritual place, but area around the temple is worth visiting. The enchanting natural beauty that seems to be tucked away from the word of commercialization. The next is Kamaleshwari Mandir. Another temple on the name of Goddess Kali is located in the center of the largest subdivision town known as Kamalpur of Dhalai district. This temple is a major pilgrimage spot and is frequently visited by the worshippers throughout the year. Kamalpur is having a road connectivity but does not have any railway station, and the nearest railhead and airport is in Agartala. The town is about 35 kilometers from Ambasa, district headquarters of Dhalai, and 122 kilometers from Agartala, the state capital. The one more tourist attraction is Heritage Park. Is the premium tourist destination since 2012 and 2 hours drive from the Kamalpur town located in the Dhalai district, lies on the eastern side of the state. The 12-acre park is one of its kind in the northeast India. It has resemblance of history, heritage, traditions, and culture of tribal and non-tribal Tripura. It shows architecture, landmark, and important sites of the state in the miniature form. Flora, fauna, medicinal herbs, and fruits bearing trees adjoin the surrounding premises. It also has a wide amphitheater, a fossil fountain, bamboo huts, a rock garden, waterfalls, and artificial lakes, as well as natural grown forest area. Rasfair in Dhalai district is a significant Manipuri community that is followers of Lord Krishna organized and devotedly participate in this famous Ras Fair in the month of December every year. The dance depicts Ras Leela of Lord Krishna and Radha and her Sakhis. The largest fair is held in Salima, but nowadays Ras Fair is held in almost every part of district. The biggest attraction of the Ras Fair is the Rath Yatra, that is the Lord Krishna's procession. Clay models of Lord Krishna are displayed in this procession, which is wherein his various deeds and phrases of life are shown. In fact, it is one of the main tourist attractions in that district too. Sarai Waterfall is in Durga Chomani block of Dhalai district, is an excellent spot for enjoying breathtaking beauty of nature with its clear water and dense vegetation. Few of the action proposed for promoting the tourism in the Dhalai districts of Tripura. Tourists A tourism that showcases the art, culture, heritage extends benefit to the local community economically and socially. It is multifaceted and entails farm, agriculture tourism, culture tourism, nature tourism, adventure tourism, and ecotourism. Further, rural tourism also preserves tradition and heritage of rural and remote areas and promotes the environmental improvements within the settlement and respects the natural diversity. The tourism in Dhalai requires small-scale enterprises, open space, contact with nature, and the natural world, heritage, and traditional societies with customary practices by developing the basic infrastructure like by developing the national parks, which safeguards the beauty, countryside, cultural heritage along with the landscapes and wildlife. Various areas in Dhalai districts have been blessed with outstanding natural beauty, with its distinctive landscapes that includes flora, fauna, historical and cultural heritage, as well as scenic outlooks. By introduction of adventure sports and events like jungle expedition, mountain biking, quad biking with an all-terrain vehicle, by developing eco-tourism activities through the jungle safaris, trekking, forest trails, nature walks, camping and hiking, etc. We can also develop the heritage gardens and theme parks. Further conducting by heritage tour and sightseeing activities, by conducting photography and painting skills development activities, by creating infrastructure facilities like modern tents, cottages with ethnic food facilities. During my address, I have tried to highlight the key issues which pose challenges for the development of border tourism in the bordering district of Tripura, with special focus on the Dhalai district of Tripura state. I am very much confident that if the suggestions deliberated during my address are considered at appropriate level, it will be feasible to achieve our objective of border tourism to some extent, as infrastructure like accommodation, transportation, and connectivity, as well as restaurants for food and beverages, etc., are basic necessity and urgently required for promotion of border tourism in this region. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Verma. Thank you very much. This was Mr. Arun Kumar Verma, second in command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. Sir, we all feel safe when people like you are there on the border. And at the same time, as I have shared it with you, Mr. Saurabh Sanyal, who's our Secretary General, has worked with the Indian Army for more than 30 years. Mr. Sanyal, would you like to comment on the presentation of Mr. Verma? And at the same time, you would agree with me that it is a tough, I would say these northern eastern borders. Would you like to comment on this, Mr. Sanyal?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Yogesh. At the outset, I wish to thank Mr. Arun Kumar Verma for giving such a deliberate and elaborate speech. And he knows the ins and out of the area in Agartala and around it. And therefore, he has given a vivid account as to what is the need of the hour, what is desirable, what all things are desirable while you are approaching Agartala from the hinterland, and thereafter going forward, what are the requirements to make Agartala as the and Tripura as the hub of tourism activity. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming, gracing the occasion. We are delighted that you have given such a detailed account. And many other speakers who are speaking, they're absolutely outstanding. We wish to have such interactions in the future as physical as possible, provided the God Almighty is with us and he gives us the space and the solace from pandemic. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
As physical as possible. SG, you have rightly said we have two more speakers. Post that Mr. Sehgal will give the concluding remark. But Mr. Sanyal, can I make a very small request? Maybe not as a colleague of yours, as a younger brother of yours, that we have always been feeling so inspired to go to the border district, see how BSF work. Would you like to accompany us? We would request Mr. Verma
Certainly.
to kindly allow us to be over there in one of the festivals, whereby we can come along with Mr. Saurav Sanyal over there in Tripura and with our 4 or 5 members team over there, and see how this ceremony is taking shape, as you have rightly said, that like Wagah Atari border, that the ceremony is taking shape. I would love to come along with Mr. Sanyal. It would be a proud moment for all of us. Mr. Verma, your comment, please, sir.
I will wait for that opportunity when I will be able to see you in physically, as well as I will be honored to receive you at Agartala, and we will be having a gala time to go and visit each and every aspect. But we are discussing today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead. Yeah, I think some issue in the line. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Verma, for your wonderful presentation and for your wonderful offer. I am sure Mr. Sehgal will, agree with me that our next endeavor should be in Agartala, and Mr. Verma has already given very gracefully his a kind invitation. So we would love to go over there, though the invitation was asked by me, because Mr. Sanyal has always been sharing about his postings, etc. in the districts. So I think it would be very meaningful for all of us to be over there physically, learn the experience, and at the same time, as regional director has said, we will have more and more tourists over there. So with this note now, ladies and gentlemen, we once again thank Mr. Verma, and now we request Mr. Somen Datta, State in Charge Tripura, Indian Association of Tour Operator, to kindly give his remarks, please. Over to you, Mr. Datta.
Am I audible?
Very much audible. Please go ahead, sir.
First of all, I am thankful to PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry to organize such a beautiful awareness program, and in presence of respected panelists. This is the high time and this is the peak time, and this is the important time to organize such a program. I am thankful to Mr. Jogesh Srivastava, who has invited me to address this prestigious session. I am thankful to Madam Sulagna also. Actually, I am at Gandhinagar. IITU convention is going on, and I have requested to the President IITU to give me 1 hour. I should join this session. Actually, I'm speechless because can you hear me, Mr.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
I am speechless because of Mr. Arun Kumar Bharmaji. He, in his address, he has explained A to Z. I am really thankful to Mr. Verma. Thank you very much. You have addressed nicely, and all the point to point we have discussed. Definitely, I will try to level my best to explain some point. It will be repeated, but I will do my level best. Before that, respected Sanyal sir, Mr. Jogesh Srivastava, Assistant Secretary General PSD Chamber of Industry, and other dignitaries, our regional director Shankar Subradip Burman sir. Basically, he is the icon of whole northeastern region in the tourism industry. Prominent writer, poet, and experienced tourism personalities. And respected sir Arun Kumar Bharmaji, second in command, Tripura Frontier BSF, and my brother also be present there, Mr. Kantida, and Mr. Sehgal. Before starting my discussion or address, as we know, the tourism industry is the largest industry all over the world, but due to pandemic COVID, the tourism industry, it was mostly heated, drastically heated. If you look before 2-3 months, it was zero level. Same discussion is going on in ITU convention at Gandhinagar also. I am here itself. But the thing is that now it's improving by the help of government, by the help of tourism industry. Actually, thing is that the tourism industry depends on some few points like travel tour operators, service providers, and frontliners, hoteliers, like that. And of course, under the guidance of government, Department of Tourism, and of course PhD. But nowadays, the tourism industry trying to get back again. But we should remind it, the pandemic COVID situation not yet over. Omicron variant still knocking the door. We have to more conscious. Now I will start my few discussions because Mr. Verma already covered all the points, and I am agree all the points with Mr. Verma. Has said well. Tripura, one of the northeastern states, Tripura is bordered by Bangladesh on the west, south, and north, by Assam on the northeast, and by Mizoram on the east. Its total geographical area is 10,492 approximate square kilometer. The glory of the land lies picturesque hills and dales and deep green valleys. 60% of the land enjoys hill terrain. Tripura is ideally located to become the gateway to Northeast India. As Tripura, as mentioned past also, the smallest state of our country after Goa and Sikkim, is bestowed by nature with bonanza of a bewildering variety of landscape, biodiversity, coupled with a rich distribution of flora and fauna. The beauty of Tripura of the erstwhile princely state of Tripura stems from the splendor of its natural setting and its dazzling heritage. No great peaks punctuate the skies, nor are its major rivers such as the Khwai, Manu, and Gomati, and match for the mighty Brahmaputra. Yet its variant expanses and rich forestland have been a great attraction to the people down the centuries, and for the tourist, it's offer a plethora of delightful attraction in its cavalcade of historic places, rock-cut carvings, stone sculptures, Buddhist and Hindu holy places. Now the question is that how to come Tripura? Tripura is well connected with the rest part of the India by air, train, and roadways. Strong air connectivity is there, like Delhi Agartala, Chennai Agartala, Bangalore Agartala, Kolkata Agartala, Guwahati Agartala, Shillong Agartala, Aizawl Agartala, and Imphal Agartala also. Simultaneously, railway connectivity also be there. New Delhi Agartala Rajdhani Express, Bangalore Agartala Hamsafar Express, Habibganj Agartala Express, Tripura Sundari Express, and Devdhar Express recently started. Tejas Express also. Now I am discussing some of the important places, tourist-based places related with the border area. Sir Verma already discussed, but I will try to repeat again. Ujjanta Palace. Agartala is the state capital of Tripura. Ujjanta Palace is located in the heart of the capital city of Agartala. Was constructed a little over 120 years ago in 1901 AD by Maharaja Radhakishore Manikya. This Indo-Saracenic building is set in large Mughal-style garden on a lake front covering 1 square kilometer area. It is a unique experience to witness living history and royal splendor within this palace. Floodlighting and dancing fountains have enhanced its attraction. One of the nearby border tourist places, Kasba Kali Temple. It is also known as Kamalasagar Kali Temple. This temple about 28 kilometers away from the Agartala city. The area where the temple is situated is also known as Kasba Kali, is located beside the international border of the neighboring country Bangladesh. Maharaja Kallan Manikya started work, but Maharaja Dhanna Manikya built this temple at the top of the hill. A large water body was dug by Maharaja in front of the temple named Kamalasagar. Every year, a large shaped fair is held near the temple in the month of Bhadra. Today's focus and today's point based on the Dhalai district. In this district, one of the most attractive and important tourist spot is there, that is Dombol Lake. It is a large water body in the state located in Amarpur subdivision. Dombol Lake is 120 kilometers away from Agartala, approximately, with an area almost 41 square kilometers surrounded by luxuriant green vegetation. This lake stands out for the exceptional natural charms and the 48 mini islands that rise in the middle of the lake. Migratory birds, water sports facilities, and a hydroelectric project near the lake make it attractive place to visit again and again. Boating facility started already available there, and recently from the side of government also taken some initiative. Our government also trying their level best to developing the existing tourist places and also trying to invent the new places for the tourist personals. Bormura Eco Park. This park is only 37 kilometers away from Agartala city. It is an area surrounded by sylvan green forest with a stream flowing through it. The other attraction of Bormura Eco Park is unique log hut-like structure in the middle of the stream, connected by wooden bridge for viewing the surroundings in a perfect panoramic environment. And another one of the most important tourist spot is there nearby the border area. Our Varun Verma sir is there, BSF personals under the leadership your good office. They are always brotherhood, having brotherhood nature with the peoples of Tripura. Not only that, and a good relation with our neighboring country. Because as we know, the good relation is there in between Bangladesh and India. The Bangladeshi border guard personnel also, we are several times observed in the newspaper also, and myself personally sometimes visited in the Khaura checkpost, and it is really attractive. The relation in between the border security force and Bangladesh border guard police personals is really appreciable. And as you know, Sir Verma mentioned already, Akhaura border flag of ceremony is there, which is attract the tourist personals. When tourist personals coming to Agartala, and when we received at Agartala airport, they ask where is Jayanta Palace, and secondly, where is Akhaura checkpost. They are very much aware regarding that. The nicely flag of ceremony in between the Bangladesh and Indian security personals happening regularly. Not like Wagah border, but friendly relation is there in between us. So flag of ceremony also friendly envirus with the friendly envirus. I am thankful to Mr. Verma again. I don't like to extend or long address because it is already delayed. I am eager to join my convention also. Some of the points may please be noted, Mr. Srivastavaji. You have taken some initiative to promote Tripura tourism, Tripura tourist places. We are also trying our level best. As you know, due to pandemic COVID situation, lots of thousands of lakhs of frontliners like drivers, guides, they have lost their jobs. Nowadays, we are starting our tourist activities and we are trying our level best to promote Tripura in different states along abroad also. So we need your assistance, we need your support. Definitely we'll go forward for the benefit of tourism industry. Now question is that how to survive tourism industry as early as possible. Yes, if we share our ideas, if we maintain a close relation with each other, definitely we will overcome this period. With this point, I am thanking to all of you giving me this opportunity to address this prestigious session. Thank you, Jogesh sir. Thank you, Sulagna ji and other dignitaries. Sannal ji. Thank you to all. Over to
Thank you.
Jogesh
Yeah.
Srivastava ji.
Thank you, Mr. Datta. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation and also sharing the details about this border districts. And yes, I second your opinion that Tripura has got a lot of potential, and especially in these border districts. And as said by Mr. Verma, that all these ceremonies which is happening in the border district must be celebrated with responsible tourism. Again and again, I'm using the word responsible and sustainable tourism because we don't want lakhs of people to go over there, but we want people to go over there to connect, collaborate, and then converge. I think that's the basic idea that we must work on this. And at the same time, they must ensure that they are responsible so that they can easily connect with the local people and then respect whatever the local culture and the state of affairs which we have in Tripura. Thank you very much, Mr. Datta. And he was Mr. Somen Datta, State in Charge, Tripura, Indian Association of Tour Operator. Now, last but not the least, we have Mr. Kanti Dev, the President of all Tripura Hotel and Restaurant Owners Associations. And we would like to request Mr. Dev, kindly tell us briefly that what kind of challenges you have over there as far as this hotel industry is concerned. I know that the hospitality industry has been hit a lot during pandemic, how it is going to take shape, and then what kind of expectations you have, especially from the government, and at the same time you are making and performing a very important role while attracting the tourist and serving the tourist. Over to you, Mr. Dev.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All yours. Please go ahead.
Firstly, I thank PhD Chamber of Commerce to give me a much opportunity to tell something regarding the tourism of Tripura. And also, I am highly appreciated by the distinguished lecturers who, respectable lecturers who deliver it. There are Tripura views. Really, I have just an idea, but Mr. Arun Verma have given tourism elaborately details regarding Tripura state. So I cannot tell nothing, but one thing, now Government of India want to encourage border tourism, and the ideal place will be Tripura, as because you can stay or you can make program at least 5 nights, 6 days package tour in Tripura. And before that, we have no any hotel. Now Tripura also ready with 8 3-star category hotel and 1 5-star category hotel. So the Tripura always welcome such initiative who encourage our tourism industry in Tripura. So that's my point. So on behalf of Tripura Hotel and Restaurant Owners Association, we welcome all your steps. And please visit Tripura. Here is natural. Everything is natural. Lake, 51 Shaktipeeth, Dombur, Chabimora, Kosba Kalibari. So please come Tripura and explore yourself. That is my view. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dev. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And with this, we come to the end of the session. Okay, sir, if you're there, just kindly take over.
Yeah, I'm very much there. Yes. Tell me, Sulagna. I did not
Sir,
hear
we are
you.
done with the addresses now.
Okay, we are done with the addresses. Okay, great. So thank you very much, Mr. Kanti Dev. Now I would request Mr. Rajan Sehgal to kindly give his concluding remarks and the formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Mr. Sehgal.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yogesh Srivastava. Thank you very much. And it was a great learning session today. And, we learned so many things. We had a fear of pandemic, but we always forget that this pandemic has given us so many lessons. This border tourism is the result of this pandemic. During this pandemic, we thought of how to promote or how to explore the unexplored destinations. Because, when
Sir, you are not audible.
So if we get the quality tourist, is it okay? Can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay. So this is the beauty of Northeast, because they want the quality tourist, the quality traveler who can spend much more money than the normal budget tourist. So to promote a destination, we need infrastructure, connectivity, safe and clean accommodation, definitely with some star hotels. Then comes the places of interest, music, literature, rich culture, heritage, nature, flora and fauna, wildlife, and on top of that, no dowry culture. So that is the beauty of Tripura. I think Tripura has all these things. So only thing you have to do is the awareness, marketing, how to use social media to promote Tripura as a destination. Because, Indians are hungry to travel. Whenever before the pandemic, they just, make a short notice and go to Thailand, to Malaysia, to Vietnam, to other places. But now this is the right time to promote domestic tourism, because they are over flooding Jammu and Kashmir, the Rajasthan and other places. So this is the once they come to Northeast, I don't think they will go to Switzerland or Austria or Italy again, once they see the beauty of Northeast. So this is the thing, that media, social media is very, very important. And I think we have great panelists today. And I would like to thank you, Mr. S.S. Dev Burman. I have heard you a lot during my career in the travel and tourism industry, the regional director of India Tourism Northeast. Then we missed our director tourism, government of Tripura. Maybe next time we heard them, also the director, Ministry of Development Northeast, donor, government of India. And thank you very much, Mr. Rama Kamaraju ji, the senior consultant from Niti Aayog. You are always a big support and presently most in our webinars. And Mr. Arun Kumar Verma ji, the second in command, Tripura Frontier Border Security Force. I am speechless, amazed. You are the one who are protecting the brave soldiers, our borders. That is why we can promote border tourism, because you brave soldiers are standing there. But the way you taught us tourism today, I think hats off to you. You can not only protect our country, our borders, but you can teach us the tourism also. I think it was a great learning session from your side, which I will remember in my coming days, and I will share, because I visit lots of universities of travel, tourism and hospitality to give my lectures to the future of the travel and tourism industry. So I have taken lots of points from your presentation, which I share with the vice presidents, and I once again thank you very much and salute you for protecting our border and our country. Then we have Mr. Sumen Datta, who has taken.
Yeah, I think some connection issue again with Mr. Rajan Sehgal. Let me use.
Accommodation is very, very important.
Okay, great, Mr.
Yeah.
Sehgal. Thank you very much for your remarks. And but I am getting number of phone calls also from people, and also the comments, as I have said, that everybody is saying that it was a very meaningful webinar. One person has also said that major problems are there. Yes, poor road connectivity. Yes, but we are trying our level best. As our Honorable Prime Minister has said, 5th year of Indian freedom celebration, Azadi ka 75वां Amrit Mahotsav, and I'm sure the Northeast would be connected with a lot of visual connectivity, but at the same time infrastructure connectivity. People come there with huge expectation. Yes, we know that people come here with huge expectation. I am trying to answer all the suggestions which people have given it over there. People are thanking to Mr. Saurabh Sanyal. Thank you on behalf of my SG. I can say thanks to you. A special thanks to Mr. Sanyal. Yeah, great, Vimal. I would certainly convey your special thanks to Mr. Sanyal. And you wanted to have some MICE operations. Okay. So yes, you be in touch with Sulagna, my colleague, and Sulagna, you can always be in touch with Mr. Kamal, and we can certainly do some meeting, incentive, conference, and exhibition. MICE also is our one of the important area of tourism. Please send the details, sulagna.ghosh@phdcci. Yeah. So anybody wants any information, please get in touch with my colleague sulagna.ghosh@phdcci. Ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Sehgal has already given the concluding remarks, but let me share it with you. On 7th of January 2022, we are going to talk about another border district, that is Udham Singh Nagar of Uttarakhand. And of course, as Mr. Sehgal has said, I second his opinion. Mr. Verma has not only securing, but at the same time he and his boys are also doing a lot of great work over there. Mr. Verma, we would love to be in touch with somebody, though your colleague who is based in Udham Singh Nagar. So I would request my colleague Sulagna Ghosh to kindly get in touch with Mr. Verma through email and get the connect for Udham Singh Nagar officer of BSF, so that we can talk about Udham Singh Nagar on 7th of January. With this note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ministry of Tourism, all people, those who have joined, state tourism boards, all my colleagues, all my people, those who have joined, especially the youngsters from Tourism and Hospitality Institute. We wish you all the very best. Have a great new year ahead. We all would like to see you on 7th of January 2022, same time, same channel, and we will talk about Uttarakhand. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Wish you all the very best and have a great day, whatever balance it is left out. Thank you and namaskar.
Yogesh, can I tell something?
Yes, please.
Just before the conclusions of the beautiful discussions. I mean, if it is possible, try to just you just try to toy the plan to make some seminar or kind of a conclave in Tripura.
Yes, that's what my plan is. Yes, sir. That's what I given a commitment to Mr. Verma, that whenever we want to come over there, we want to have some conclave, maybe a heritage conclave over there. We have a series.
Try to do it only within the month of within the season of the winter. Otherwise, it will be difficult because the region is rain prone.
Okay, so say February, March. Yes, of course we have got the similar set of a direction from Himachal Pradesh also. But yes, certainly we can come on in the month of February, March, and we will certainly be in touch with you, sir. And my colleague will be in touch. She will also be shared. So Lagna, if you can kindly share with the regional director, sir, what kind of initiatives we have taken in the past and what kind of conclave we wish to do over there in Tripura, and especially as we have requested Mr. Verma, especially in that district, so that more and more meaningful people can be connected over there. Of course, sir, we will do it, sir.
Yogesh ji, I am just butting in.
Yeah.
there could be a FAM tour,
There could be a FAM tour over there.
a
sir.
familiarization tour of the tour operators,
Yeah.
or Mr. Rajan Saigalji is can get the Tour Operators Association involved, and there could be a very good FAM tour which, in collaboration with the state government of Tripura, where Mr. S.S. Dev Burman ji is already highlighting, and it could be a great opportunity for the tour operators to visit there in respective places. They can stay at the beautiful locations which Tripura boasts of, and they are excellent, especially along the border. They're excellent flora and fauna, excellent people, very good culture and heritage there. So this will be a very good opportunity, and the best time to visit is February.
Okay. So, okay, got it, sir. As you are our, commander in chief, as Mr. Saurabh Sanyal, Secretary General, has already said, yes, certainly we will go ahead. But Mr. Burman, let me also share it with you. Mr. Saurabh Sanyal is a great singer. He has worked with R.D. Burman in the past, apart from whatever years he has spent with Indian Army. So we will certainly take Mr. Sanyal also over there. And of course, Mr. Verma has already given us the opportunity to have a gala time over there. Ladies and gentlemen, with this note, thank you very much. Wish you all the very best and have a great day, whatever balance it is left out. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Hambai.
Hambai.